You are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast, a weekly review of Monday Night Raw and other wrestling-related topics. And here's your hosts, Peter Day and Jake Grandi.
Hello, boys and girls.
What's up?
Boot them out to the trunk.
Turn the bass up.
You are now listening, if you are on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Podbean, and watching if you're on YouTube. Episode 74, Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin Podcast. The weather is very frosty outside.
Yeah.
And it's nice and toasty in this motherfucker, I can guarantee you that. But how you doing, Jake?
I'm doing good. Snow, nice change of pace, I guess. It's the first day it snowed. Maybe it's supposed to keep snowing on to the weekend, so I guess ask me next week.
Hope fucking not. I mean, last week, almanac-wise, it snowed during the weekend. And I don't need snow happening during the weekend because it fucks with my money. Like, I work as a DJ on the weekends, and if I'm not working, I don't get paid. So that's the only thing that kind of sucks about being a DJ on a weekend and club is closed. But if we could get done with this at least by Friday...
No, it's supposed to get worse, but it's supposed to snow again on Friday. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news, but
no, it's all good. I mean, they said it's supposed to snow last week, so I don't know if whether they just got their week wrong or what. But I'll tell you this, I only hope.
Well, it snowed on Sunday. It snowed today on Wednesday. I don't know. What do you think? What do you hope?
I hope it just doesn't snow. I hope the snow that happens here stays within like 2 days. We don't need 3 days of snow happening. Mm-hmm. Just give me 2 days, today, right now, tomorrow. I can miss 1 day of work, and then go in Friday and Saturday and still at least make some income on the weekend on top of my regular job. But fuck snow, I've never liked snow.
That seems to be, I think that at my job, I get to watch the TV, and I haven't watched the local news in forever, but that seems to be the progress of what you just said. Like, we might miss either Thursday night or Friday night, depending on when it hits. Or maybe it hits on Friday morning, and then by Friday night, it's good.
We're not children anymore when it comes to snow. We got jobs, man. And if we can't get to our jobs, I mean, if you're part-time, say if you're full-time, you can, I still get full-time pay. But people who work part-time jobs, especially if you're tips and stuff or in the bar industry, you're fucked when that snow comes. That's a huge hit on your bank account. Can't afford to do that shit. So moving into this, how was your weekend? How was your week since I last seen you? So we get some best and the worst?
Yeah, sure. We'll get into there. I mean, my week's been great. I mean, this isn't my best because I saw something today that was definitely my best. But the Panthers, they're moving on. Mm-hmm. And I know we kind of talk about that all the time.
That's both best.
And I think that's going to get in the way of our Rumble because the game's on at 6:20 this weekend. And Rumble's on at 8.
Well, depending on what matches are going on. Because, I'm
definitely watching Panthers.
Yeah, I'm watching Panthers, too.
I'm watching Panthers live.
But, the meat and potatoes of the Royal Rumble, and that's what's cool about it. The meat and potatoes of the Royal Rumble is the Royal Rumble itself. So, all the belts will be up. All the belts will be up for grabs. The Divas belt, the U.S. belt, Intercontinental belt, and the WWE Championship belt will be in the Royal Rumble. I could give two shits about Owens versus Ambrose. I could care less. I probably won't. That's not even bathroom break for me. That's just go take a jog.
It's like an anywhere in the building match.
Yeah.
So you're you're definitely watching Panthers. I just thought maybe I could watch Panthers on my computer and then the network on the TV, but then I kind of want to watch the Panthers. I mean, this is the Final Four. Panthers don't normally. I know Broncos and I know Patriot fans are used to this shit, but
and it's a 3 hour. It's gonna be a 3 hour show if it's starting at 6.
No, the Panthers. Yeah, kickoff is 6:20.
6:20, so it'd be done at 9:20.
Yeah, so jump on in there, miss the hour, and like you said, it's I only really care about the Rumble match. That seems to be the only thing they designed you to care about. I mean, the Owens and Dean, I'm not like you. I think that's going to be a solid mid-card match, but that's it. It's not, I don't know. I'm definitely excited about that match, but I just kind of want to more interested. I can definitely miss it and then watch it later on the network.
Who are the New Day putting up their belts against?
Oh, the Usos. We've seen that match a bunch too, especially coming off the last. I think we saw it last week on Raw. So yeah, the WWE hasn't really done a good job pushing the lower card, the lower tier.
They tried. They damn sure tried, but it fell flat. I mean,
they're treating them all like jobbers.
But I don't even know that dude's name. What the hell is that guy's name?
I'm not sure. The guy who won Tough Enough. I don't watch.
His name is like Benson something.
Does it start with the J? Jay Benson something?
Let me see. Was it Tough?
Well, anyways, I can from what Peter was telling me is he posted something on Twitter about the social Outcasts and said the word jobbers, and I guess a number of wrestlers came out and said something about it. Because wrestling has always been seen as like a tight-knit group of people, a tight-knit sport or entertainment, field of entertainment. And for this guy to win a reality show, not even in a match yet.
Josh Brindle,
yeah, coming out and saying something like that. I think it ruffled some feathers. Apparently, Bull Dempsey from NXT, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes.
And Cody Rhodes, not Stardust, Cody Rhodes. He responded through, because it was like a ply. It was like several ply of things. And it was, when Benson made the post, he goes, social jobbers, I like it, right? And then it's just like, and then Kevin Owens is like, basically, look here, young. Like he makes his first tweet was like, oh look, someone's using their like insider terms, like their mark insider terms, your elite something. It was something to that term, and then Bull Dempsey's like, Josh, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of post. And then Stardust, Cody Rhodes, just like, fucking Owens, he tweets, I blocked him. It felt good. And then Cody's like, blocked, banned. Have fun dressing in the hallway. So they're going in on him. They're going in on him, and I feel like it's beyond the Miz eating chicken.
That's exactly what I thought of. I mean, the Miz messed up and had to dress in a separate locker room for a while. Seems like before he was even in the he at least Miz got to the locker room, buddy. It seems like bite your tongue, and maybe NXT is the best place for you right now, because you might need to learn some stuff you didn't even know existed.
Well, we all know wrestling's pretty petty when it comes to heat. You can catch heat over the smallest thing. I haven't read the JTG book yet, but it's definitely it's probably entertaining shit in terms of dealing with the pettiness of professional wrestling and how you catch heat versus staying on everyone's good side. You look at this guy. This guy isn't one of the boys. He's an ex-football player that won a contest, right? So he's kind of like, he's gone in the back door, for one. So there's already resentment inside the locker room, I would only imagine. Mm-hmm. You look at the guys ahead of him. You look at the guys that are in the job squad. They said, well, they're the job squad. It's like, well, we as fans can talk about this, but if I was one of the boys, the last thing that I'm gonna do is sort of put you down while you're trying to make a living, So he's crossed that bounds of becoming one of the boys coming in the back way, where someone else had to spend months and years in like empty auditoriums and getting paid $5 if anything at all, sleeping in hotel floors, and then he comes in all glossy and gleamery and he wants to talk shit about these guys. And it's like, well, call a spade, I get it. He's not in a position to do that, though. That's all. That's the pettiness of the wrestling world. And if the debate's going back and forth, was he in line, was he out of line? I go like, I think there's medium in there, but I'm not a wrestler. I can look at him and be like, you could have been smarter, basically. You need to be smarter. And that's anybody in the NXT, or especially someone who won Tough Enough. I mean, I guarantee, if you could probably talk to The Miz, if you could talk to Josh, what the hell is his name? Josh,
Brinson?
No. From he now works for TNA.
Oh, Josh Matthews.
Even Ryback. Well, all those guys from Tough Enough. Mundo, at the time, Johnny Nitro. They came in through. I bet their fucking lives were miserable.
For sure.
First maybe couple of years they were there. This guy hasn't even made it to any roster yet, and he's already talking shit. So whatever shit that he gets, he deserves. Lucha Underground.
Yeah, coming back.
They were on. I didn't see the spot, but someone posted on the Solomos the Sounds Off. They posted a screenshot of the Lucha Underground cast on SportsCenter, where they designate the wrestling slot for.
Yeah, I saw they were on SportsCenter. That's pretty cool.
So, and all I could read, I mean, do you see Lucha Underground as competition?
I guess for the news on ESPN that day they were. But no, I don't think that they're going they're not like WCW where like you are worried that they will surpass you if you're the WWE.
Well, that's been the talks. Shots fired. Oh my God, Vince is going to be mad because it was Mundo on the screen, featured as one of the wrestlers on there, and I just go like, these guys are not competing with the WWE, and anyone who wants to talk about the Lucha Underground having this spot, do you think Vince really cares? Because any mark who would even suggest that somebody fucking cares up in the fucking crystal castles of the WWE headquarters that 5 minutes of time on SportsCenter that's conducted by Jonathan Coachman, someone who's in cahoots with the WWE because he worked there. You think he made the decision to piss Vince off? I just don't know. When the news come out and the debate goes, we're like, oh my God, this, that, and the other. Like, they're a television show that presents wrestling. They're not a wrestling promotion that travels from territory to territory. They're not on tour. So if you honestly think that anybody in the executive is upset or even somewhat even gives a shit, you're idiot. That's all. I mean, it's just a silly thing. I think there was one more thing I wanted.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I knew that they were featured on SportsCenter because I saw a headline, but I didn't know it took the place of WWE. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think I just think it's cool. I don't think for a second that it's any. I think people blew it out of proportion. They should have seen it as, oh, cool. This promotion got some good publicity, and probably during that one day or this 1 week, that is probably a bigger deal than something that happened on Raw.
But why would someone already put up the idea that there's like this conflict? You think it's a desperation?
Maybe it depends on who it came from. If it came from a legit fan, he might have been just so excited and just said something, or it could have been from someone trying to stir up some shit. You know? But I hope it came from a fan, because I'm really excited. I don't think it's definitely not taking over Vince, but I definitely think it's pretty awesome. I definitely think it's going to pick up this year with Ray involved and everything like that. I think they are getting legit names to maybe. When does it come on? It comes on Wednesdays. So yeah, I mean everyone watch NXT or that. I think it can maybe compete with NXT.
But it's a television show.
Well, NXT is. I mean, the Performance Center is there, but NXT is pretty much just a television show shown in one place at one time. So I think that it's on the level of an NXT. So it's on the level of their developmental. Which it just happens to be on the level of their developmental.
I don't think so. I think I feel like the entire, everything about it screams more Walking Dead or House,
Well, yeah, it is a different show, but it is a wrestling show.
Yeah, but I don't think that's.
And I think
they're not.
That is the appeal. I think that is the appeal. That it is more like that, and then you do have your. What do you like better? Do you like?
I see what you're saying in terms of. Wait a minute. You're talking about like the logistics that is on a Wednesday.
It's on a Wednesday. It's
at
shot
the same time.
I'm not sure, but shot in one place in a studio with a crowd that comes every time, and it's got some names that you know from elsewhere, but for the most part, it's unknown guys that are willing to work their ass off. I think. I think it's a little bit of the same dynamic, young, hungry guys mixed with a little bit of names from elsewhere. And I think that if Lucha Underground legit tried to say that they're better than NXT.
But they wouldn't even put themselves in a... I don't think they would put themselves even in that conversation.
Because I think they're like a classier company. But I'm saying if people on Twitter would say that, I would definitely listen to your argument. But if you're trying to compare yourself to Vince McMahon, no. And still they're selling out football stadiums once a year. And that's when you're competing with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. But I just see two different animals. I mean, sure. I see two wrestling shows. But I see a television show that could be, on a primetime slot after, like I don't know, like what do you call those, CSIs?
Yeah, sure.
Like all that stuff. Like, because I see it's so put together as a television show about wrestling, about this fight club in this cave of like these fantasy warriors.
Yeah, sure.
That burst into flames when they take off, and they got there's darkness. There's an actual darkness. Mil Mortes and these spirits. They're not performances as say someone playing a character. These are characters. But it breaks. The fact that they're on the that kind of threw me off the Battle of Los Angeles, and you had Pentagon Jr. on there. You had
they wrestle in AAA too.
Yeah.
And I think they're wrestling some gigs in or not gigs, but for promotions in like Toronto and Chicago area.
But that's for another promotion. I guess the point I was making is that they don't come off as mystical. What they do when they do PWG, they come off as just indie wrestlers.
Sure.
Versus
especially Aerostar.
Yes,
he botched a lot. In that tournament.
Oh, wow. Because he's still kind of green. I mean, they did a lot of cutting of tape for that Lucha Underground stuff. They did a lot of cutting of the tape.
Well, yeah, I think what I would do is if I was Vince McMahon, I wouldn't get mad or anything. And if I was a fan, I am a fan. I'm definitely not saying that they're surpassed them. But look at their success, because they're now getting the same, at least a little bit of media attention. How are they getting that? See what's different that you can maybe incorporate, because they definitely are getting successful and they are different. So figure out why. Maybe you can bring something in, because Raw is a little stale, like you
very stale,
like you were gonna say. Yeah.
Let's
just run through it real quick and mainly talk about Rumble. But let's I kind of want to maybe talk about
yeah. I mean,
we can talk
because behind the curtain a little bit. This show sucked, man. And just to get you behind the curtain, I mean, he wants to review the show, and I don't have any problems. Well, that's what makes this show awesome, that we can actually talk about things like this. But if I come off as uninspiring while he runs through the card. It's not because I'm being a jerk. Not being a jerk to him. It's not being a jerk to you guys as listeners. If you listen to Peter's Raw recap, you found out what I had to say. And even at the end, I was like, this, unless the press, the big points of, say, going into the Royal Rumble, this show was a complete waste of time to everybody. They could have done a 30-minute show on just how the Royal Rumble should be, because that's the go-home show. The rest was filler matches. Just these matches that didn't really result to anything. If you love the in-ring, that's cool. He really enjoyed the in-ring. I'm the type of person, if it doesn't serve a real purpose, I don't care. It's just, okay, there's two bodies in the ring, I mean, I'm watching a episodic television show that goes from episode to episode, and each movement should go towards something bigger, say take a pay-per-view. And if that match doesn't contribute to that, then why should I care? Why should anyone care? Unless you just really want to watch the in-ring. And it's 50-50 WWE for me. It's work rate, in-ring work rate, and storyline. That's it. It's 50-50. I don't watch ROH for storyline. I don't watch PWG for storyline. I watch a little bit of New Japan for a little bit of storyline, because it's like two guys that want to fight, and they say, I want to fight you. Why? Because I'm better than you, jackass, and we're going to prove it in the ring.
Hell yeah.
Not like a good old,
And it came out of Columbus, Ohio. What'd you think of Martin Luther King tribute?
Well, they do that with the same one every year.
Yeah.
They've been using that same one. I mean, they've been using that same one for the past 3 years. It's a cool song.
Yeah. I thought it was all right. Then we go in with Roman coming out. Not I know that. Have you seen that meme that's been going around the last 5 Raws where it showed like Steph or Vince coming out there and showed Roman? Well, Roman came out, twist, and then Jericho came out. Then the League of Nations came out, and then Jericho pretty much booked a match between Reigns and Rusev. I thought the beginning segment, Del Rio and Rusev's delivery was real good. And then we found out over break, not only will Rusev and Reigns be in a match, but Jericho will be the ref. And the main spot of this match was Jericho kicking first Barrett to the back, then Del Rio to the back, first Sheamus, then Barrett, then Del Rio, all to the back. The crowd, I guess in Columbus, never seen this spot before or anything, but they were losing their shit. And so much so where Jericho did a cartwheel. But, LOL, Reigns wins. But I thought Rusev was really good on the mic here, which I think he's getting better and better on the mic.
He was never bad on the mic.
I know, but I think he's definitely getting better and better. I thought that he carried that shitty storyline through the summer. The only reason it was watchable because he's funny.
Witty. He's witty. He's very sharp. I think outside of his promo, I think he knows how. It's not that he says it. He knows how to say it and come off because he was a creep this summer, you know?
Yeah.
He was a creep, and he made for a really good creep. I mean, this segment, the big part is that Jericho wanted to he's going to have Brock Lesnar on the highlight reel, and that he wanted Roman Reigns on the highlight reel because the two of them are the biggest names in the company. He wanted to make the highlight reel the biggest highlight reel in the history of Jericho.
Sure. That's gonna be at the end of Raw.
And he was, he was scheduling this shit. The League of Jobbers that came out was the fact that they were out to remind you their significance of, Rusev being the last person thrown out last year. The fact that ADR and Sheamus are both Royal Rumble winners, so they're as much belong to be on the highlight reel as much as Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And I just go like, all right.
Well, that'll come into play later.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, we get it. This was like 20 minutes. This was a 20-minute segment. This was a 20-minute segment that didn't really take you anywhere.
Yeah, well, I guess it did set up that Roman and Brock are going to meet, and then it kind of, foreshadowed a little bit of maybe League of Nations involvement. But yeah, I think Jericho he was
wacky.
He was a little stale the last few weeks, so I think in the ref role and in little things like that to where he can improve a match. Maybe he's shifting into this kind of a guy now. I think
he doesn't want to shift it.
He might not.
The reason why he doesn't even, he's like, dude, just give me the house shows. I'll do all the house shows you want.
Sure,
but like he's on contract and he's a soldier. Like seriously. The way he's scripted right now to be like wacky Y2J or wacky 2J, I don't like it. I love Jericho. I hate seeing him at this capacity. He's bigger than this. He's a first-time undisputed heavyweight champion. First time he beat Stone Cold and The Rock in one night, right? Fucking Attitude Era, baby.
Well, you'll see him at the Rumble this Sunday.
But I can't take him serious though. Like that's the thing. Like the way they got him scripted. Could you imagine? Do you remember wacky 2J like this, to this capacity, being a fucking silly ref? Yay, doing cartwheels, you're thrown out. It was like, I
think he was just having fun
Major League.
I think normally, like, a lot of things fell flat tonight, but for some reason that was something that the crowd popped.
Fell flat.
Not this pop where you kick people in the back. The people were losing their shit.
Yeah, it's a moment to pop for.
Well, I'm not saying that there was a lot of moments to pop for, and it didn't. But for some reason, this worked, and I think Jericho. It speaks to how good Jericho is because then he can get anything over. He can get this silly little.
The way they're scripting him right now is fucking silly. It's stupid. I don't want to see Jericho at this capacity. I don't. I'd much rather see him troll. I'd much rather see when he was trolling. When he came back last time and he was just like cheering and celebrating and not saying anything. At least he ain't saying nothing. The way he's here, he's just saying corny stuff, Rudy Tooty Booty. Like, nah, man. Nah, sorry, man. No go. No fly zone. Rudy Tooty Booty, whatever the fuck it is, it's worse than fucking hash browns and prunes. Straight up.
Well, he was in the back. Stephanie didn't like that he was there either. Said that he was kind of messing up her show, and they kind of had like little words.
She was saying that he wasn't authorized to do any of the things, but she didn't mind it. The one thing that got on her nerves is the fact that Brock Lesnar, he was scheduled to be on the highlight reel anyway. Now that Roman Reigns is on there, that she was going to have to restructure his contract, kind of thing. But other than that, what you did was best for business. But don't step out of line anymore without anyone's approval.
Yeah, and then we got to see Brie with Fox versus Natty with the returning Paige.
Meant nothing.
Yeah, this match was real quick.
It was a plug for the Divas. Divas.
Natty wins. Paige is back, and the Total Divas on E. Are you gonna watch? Or are you gonna?
Fuck no. How about this? And I'll say this, and then I'll speak less moving forward about this goddamn show. Natty, how do you feel about her?
She's great.
Isn't she great?
I think they're gonna do more with her. I mean,
was this great?
It was a quick match on Raw.
Was this great?
Was this great? No.
Is this the capacity that you want to see Natty? I
definitely don't want overexposure. I think that we're gonna see more of her. I think she's wrestling. It's gonna happen. I think her and Charlotte is a known great match. They wrestled on NXT Takeover. And I think they did a Brett and a Flair. They can definitely have that, and I think that could be a potential Mania spot right there. Having Brett, maybe a towel match between the two ladies.
Before the Divas Revolution, high work rate between two divas, Natty, Naomi. Have you forgot about those?
No.
This capacity of the last students from the dungeon, even a female too, because you just didn't go to the dungeon and make it out alive. Fuck that. That was pitiful. How do you feel about Paige?
In this segment or generally?
Right now, what Paige has become over the past year and a half it blows my mind. I never thought that they would use her at the capacity of how they're using her now. Sure. I thought she would go in as a work rate person. That Brie Bella, Nikki Bella will be the divas, right? She came in as the anti-diva. She's going to be the difficult one, the one that's not going to play by the rules and go along with whatever skirt they throw in or whatever zany feud or moving forward now with putting her on TV and movies. I never thought that she would go along with this. So you get two of the best work rate players in the game. Right in between this whole Divas Revolution, and you're using them at a capacity for mindless crap. It blows my mind.
I mean, I think that usually this would have just been more talking, but since they have to plug the new show, they had as quick of a match as possible. I think that this is no way indicative of where they are on the card. I think Natty and Paige. I think they're in good shape, especially Brie. I mean, I think Brie and Fox are just waiting for Nikki to get back. She was kind of the head. Yeah, the head of that faction for sure.
She was the straw that.
Yeah, she was the
turned the drink
for sure.
But outside the segment, I'm just saying in general. I mean, Paige's last 3 matches was her losing to Nikki Bella. Someone she could wrestle circles around. Natty's last supposed feud was her figuring out who attacked her in the back. They were blaming Paige. And came out to be Team Bad. And then they just dropped that. I don't know if there was something behind the curtain, say an injury or her just checking up on Tyson Kidd.
Well, Paige and Sasha Banks mysteriously stopped being on the wrestling on TV for a while, so maybe they might have been not injured but banged up and not wanting to say anything, kind of a thing publicly. But
this is how the WWE play us, though. Like we're idiots. It's not cool. Like, oh yeah, by the way, whatever happened to figuring out who jacked you in the back and you blaming and the whole storyline of Paige being blamed. We never saw the two of them confront each other about Paige being falsely accused. We never went into that. It was like, oh yeah, here's Total Divas.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? I just, and that's all I say about this. And this is that. this capacity, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could see more. Maybe, I don't know. We go into the Wyatts come out and versus the Dudleys and Ryback. It seems like the Dudleys wrestle some version of the Wyatts like every week. But I don't really have much to say about this match. The Wyatts win, and we'll definitely see more of the Wyatts later on the show. We moved on to the Big Show.
On SmackDown, the actual Dudley boys got a victory over in a tables match. They got a victory over the Wyatts. I don't think maybe out of the 8 matches they've had. Out of 8 matches they had, they won, but then they got decimated. They never talked about getting decimated on Raw. It's like, what? So they go down in flames with Ryback's floundering ass.
Dude, he's tanking. Yeah, but we had the Big Show versus Heath Slater, and all the Social Outcasts come out. They got new shirts, I think better shirts, where they're all like it's just 4 boxes with their faces. It says Social Outcasts in plain lettering. Better than the ones last week. When they're coming down to the ring, they're all cutting promos. They're not letting Bo talk, which is kind of funny. But really what happens is Big Show punches Slater, punches Rose, punches Axel, and then while Bo runs out of the ring like a coward, runs out of the ring like a coward, and runs around celebrating, I guess, like he does, gets met with a punch. Setting up, I guess it's just pretty much saying like Big Show's a contender at the Rumble. You're supposed to remember he's big. You're supposed to put over his size. And you're supposed to get over a lot of guys.
I don't know if
at this go-home show.
I don't know whether it's to put over the Big Show as a contender, because he's naturally a contender. He'll get 4 guys out easily, just naturally. But it just shows that the Social Outcasts will be the duds within the Rumble.
Oh, I think they were always going to be the duds, but I think that now that they're a group, they're going to get a laughter pop. People are going to think it's funny that they're out there. They might do a little comedy spot right there in the middle of the Rumble, which is better than a groan, which I think all 4 of these guys would
Yeah, you know what? You have a point.
Yeah,
once in your fucking life, Jake, you have a fucking point.
I think
I take back my ill intentions of how I see them in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I think it's just the Rumble. I think these guys might split. The 4-man band, I think I've heard a few times on the podcast and things, and I think, why not? The 3-man band worked, Give them Hornswoggle.
Pump your brakes, dude. All right, I agree with one thing. Now, I'm just saying, pump your fucking brakes.
I thought they're pretty funny. They did a really funny thing last week online, and then they did. Every time I see them, I laugh at least once. So it's good. Not one person can feel the Santino shoes, so they got to put 4 of them. Then we had Vince and Steph come out. This segment, I think, was definitely the low point of Raw. It was where they did like a mock lottery, but it kind of...
Who's going to be first
in
the Royal Rumble? Before we go there, who did you think was going to be first?
I thought it was going to be Reigns.
You thought it was going to be Reigns? I had no clue, which is a good thing.
Because they did this exact same thing in 1999 with Shane McMahon. Vince and Shane did it with Stone Cold. I thought it was going to be a little different, but it was like literally maybe word for word.
Verbatim?
Yeah. Except for Vince couldn't open the little balls this time.
I think he did that on purpose.
You think so?
To say that, well, there's a chance that the ball that I can't open is a ball with another name in it. But it came out. I mean, you realize that all the balls in the little thing is Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think they could have done a little better. Maybe have like Saxton out there interviewing them, and then he ends up knocking it over, and it all just, hey, this all says Reigns,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Dude, you're on a roll. You got 2 great fucking points, man.
Like,
what am I rubbing off on you or something?
I think it could have. I think it just fell flat because one, I don't think. I mean, yeah, it was 1999, but I think with Austin and McMahon, that was definitely a feud that people kind of remember those angles. And 2, it just seemed like it took a long time. They did not. Maybe I just didn't like it, and it seemed like a little longer than I thought. But what did you think of this, Peter?
There's only one person's time on Raw, ever. Well, it's Vince and Triple H and Stephanie. it's on their time. So if they want to lag a little longer, they could do whatever they want, you know? So even if they know, I feel like they know shit fell flat. They know it fell flat. Like,
but no one's going to tell them.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And you know what? He's still Vince McMahon. It's not like we're going to boo Vince McMahon because he's fucking up his own product. Like, no, hell no. We're going to do this every time we see him. Because you know what? Outside of what he's given us previous, he's given us things. He's given us great things. Now, again, the struggle between him and Triple H, NXT, you know, the Tyler Breeze thing that's happening right now, that was something else I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
This is, I don't like this capacity of Vince. He has glimmers within these moments. I thought him trying to open up the balls was pretty funny.
I couldn't tell if it was real or rigged or...
It was, I saw, as soon as he did that, I was like, he's fucking with us. Because he, you know, the odds are, maybe that's another person in the ball, but he's too old and too weak to open it. You know, like, you know, just he's trolling. And speaking of trolling, one thing about this, so it could be this person that wins, that's in it. This person that's in it, it could be someone you've never seen before.
Oh, yeah.
That place popped.
Was it PW Insider is now reporting that they don't know exactly if he'll be in Rumble, but he will be reporting to the WWE this week. And then
AJ, you mean?
Oh yeah, of course. Okay, yeah, we are talking about AJ Styles, or I thought you at least were. And then he did cut a promo in England when he wrestled for Revolution Pro. That he said, I don't know if I'll be in the Rumble, but you guys haven't seen anything yet. So he mentioned, like, I don't know if I'll be in the Rumble. And, you know, I think I just want him to do it, man.
Well, we know Nakamura's not going to be in it because he doesn't report to Orlando until the end of February.
Yeah, and we got to remember, like, Florida, like Orlando, you know, that's TNA. That's where AJ got his name. It would be fitting if he came out there. It would be just as fitting if he came out there than, like, you know, like Bubba Ray and Philly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's about the assist to the person. How can we assist this person? Like, okay, if he came out in, like, say, San Antonio, Texas, you know, if the Royal Rumble was in San Antonio, Texas, like, yeah, like, it's going to be crickets. You're going to hear, like, a quarter of the crowd cheer, and then it's not going to be enough cheer to really back up that this guy's a big deal.
No, there's going to be a few people in the crowd that have seen TNA before. There's definitely going to be a few people in the crowd. You know, Florida's kind of a hotbed for indie wrestling. Evolve goes down there. That's the only place they go other than the Northeast, and then of course NXT is there. I think this is the perfect storm. It has. Maybe I'm marking out a little bit. Maybe I just want to see.
Of course, you're marking out. You have every reason.
Yeah, maybe I just want to see real bad, but like all those little drops, it just seems like it's aligned. And I think if he comes out of Rumble and gets that pop, to an extent, it really doesn't like they could just put him back down in NXT after that, or like. You know, what if it doesn't equal out to everything it was supposed to, but that Rumble pop is going to be that Rumble pop, and that's going to be something for the ages.
I just hope he never comes back until after WrestleMania. If he comes into the Royal Rumble, hold him. All right, you got your pop. We all know you're here. It's just too many other storylines going on right now to put him in that clusterfuck of a fucking whirlwind. Mm-hmm. The same reason why I was like, hey, don't bring in those girls from NXT while Hurricane Nikki is fucking blowing through. You know, they're gonna get caught up in that whole bullshit, and that's what happened. The whole Divas Revolution got caught up in the whole Nikki Bella fucking Hurricane Nikki, and it just got off on the bad foot. In the same way, AJ, if he comes into this fucking massive Reigns push, it's not going to do him any favors. It's not going to do anybody any favors.
You're right, but it could.
I know I'm right. I'm kidding. But yeah, I just like they did Bubba Ray. You know, like when Bubba Ray showed up in the Royal Rumble, he didn't show up until when?
SummerSlam.
Yep.
Or the Raw after SummerSlam.
The Raw after
in
SummerSlam.
New York. And think about those. And if this is going to be a touring promotion, pick your spots. Have them come out in Philly where ECW was, and then have them come out in New York where ECW was. So yeah, like Florida's perfect. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a reason, you know, Seth Rollins gets a big pop in Iowa. There's a big reason why, you know, Miz gets a big pop in Ohio. You know, do these little things. It just helps, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely position him in a place where he's going to succeed. Not like, Booker T versus Buff Bagwell a week before WWE goes to Atlanta.
In Seattle, which is a place I don't think WWE did or WCW did too many shows.
No, I'm just saying in general, they could have waited 1 week to have them come over and just get this big pop because that's their fan base. They do it a week before, they choke, and then that basically set the tone for the rest of their careers. It set the tone for the whole invasion of the WCW. It set the tone.
It was kind of weak. And then we had Charlotte with Ric Flair coming out to watch Becky and Tamina. This was a real quick match, too. The only real cool thing was when she set up the disarmer, she came from the top rope and kind of like flipped Tamina over. I really thought Becky did a really good job here in the match and a really good job on the promo.
Before the promo, the only thing that fucked me up about this, and this is why... the last time that Becky Lynch faced anybody from Team Bad, that was Sasha Banks. She lost to 3 people, not just one. The involvement of Tamina and Naomi was the reason why Sasha Banks got the win. You got Naomi out there, is like she forgot how to earn her money. At least just tease the idea of she had the odds stacked against her, but like they didn't even go there. They were just like, all right, whatever, quick match, Tamina, pin.
I almost would have wished they did one women's match or Divas match and had it go a little longer, like maybe a Becky and a Naomi, just a nice gem.
I don't think it would have been. I think the promo, the extended part of this Divas segment was what it was needed.
Yeah, I thought the promo was great. I thought Becky did a good job, and I thought
she kills it, man.
Yeah, and Charlotte did she did her job, and Rick came through, of course, really good, showing being like the pissed off father. I really liked it because it was like we see this all the time where like a wrestler will egg another wrestler on, like John Cena's done it. Kevin Owens did it in NXT a bunch recently, but never did like someone else come and speak for them that you can't really turn down, like a mentor, a father figure. And Ric Flair, you're not going to be like, no, Rick, what the fuck are you talking about? So it was good that he came out and spoke for her.
Well,
it added a little bit.
Well, I think I will disagree with the fact that he was a pissed off father. Because she went after Rick. She didn't go after Charlotte so much as she went after Rick. And Rick I like to think Rick, just his own, the fact that he doesn't have, boom. He's like, some stealing. She just went down that line. I'm like, she's gonna flub one of these. No, she fucking kills it. She changes a little bit of the, jet flying, wheeling, dealing, but she kiss stealing. She changed the text and fucking just delivered them perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if she wrote it herself. Maybe that's why she was able to deliver them so good. But she outwitted them. She outwitted them by attacking his pride.
Sure.
And not the fact that it could have been anybody out there that he was spoken for. He would have gave up the match. He would have gave them the match. Because Charlotte's trying to dodge it. And she knows that, well, if he'll give the match because his pride want to let him to be overshadowed. So the dissension between the Flairs, I feel like that's going to move forward. I don't see a match happening by any means.
Becky and Rick?
No, Charlotte and Rick. Because the way she looked, I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Did you hear Rick came out and said that they actually announced they wanted to see if he could do the Rumble, and he alluded to saying no. But Rick, former 1992 Royal Rumbler himself, I
watched that last night.
Yeah,
I watched it last night.
I want to say that's top 3 Rumbles of all time.
Bobby Heenan kills it.
Yeah.
When they get the Russian comes out, even with
Koloff?
Was it Koloff? What?
No, it's Nikolai Volkoff, right?
Nikolai Volkoff comes out, and it's during like a rough time in Russia. And he goes, man, it's a rough time in Russia. And he goes, that's too bad.
Heenan was great.
Oh, he was on the top of his game on this bitch. But yeah.
Then we have Dean and Kalisto versus Sheamus and Del Rio with Barrett on ringside and Kevin Owens on commentary.
Oh! I gotta plug my show. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. There. We find out right before this is that the League of Homies are facing Roman Reigns in a 3-on-1 match on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that because I have a show called Peter Talks SmackDown. It's worth checking out if you have the time.
Yep. Hell yeah. Comes out Saturday mornings?
It's Friday night, Saturday mornings.
Hell yeah. And this match, though, was really good. I thought Dean and Kalisto did a bunch of nice sequences playing off each other. I like the head scissors splash and then the backdrop to the outside. Some good lucha stuff. It wasn't good?
You can't hear my thumbs down on him giving such a rave review about this fucking match.
And then Del Rio's kick instead of the second rope, he uses the table. Get real. This match was sick. This match was a good match, folks.
It sucked.
But then the bro kick to Kalisto, kind of halting Kalisto's push that happened last week on Raw by Sheamus. League of Nations win. I really feel like they really want to do Kalisto right, but they keep fucking it up. I think that they keep like wanting to do it and then saying like, "Oh fuck, we did it too soon." Oh, and then they just jump them down. But there's only so many times you can pull the rug up before people stop believing in them.
So where did Kalisto come from?
NXT.
Okay. You watched the show, right? You watched the show?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Half of Social Outcast are NXT guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
There's League of Nations has Rusev who was in NXT, and
but not like that NXT.
No, he came up from
but like
that NXT.
Yeah, you can say that about Roman Reigns too.
You definitely can. You can say that about the former champion Seth Rollins and Big E.
I think that was before
and Charlotte and Becky and Paige. You can say that about a lot of people. Most of the roster, Bray and the Wyatts.
Well, how about not that? I feel like How about this?
Within the last 6 months.
How about this? Like that last wave from Bo Dallas, because I feel like that was the excitement of that new branch. Because outside of Neville, just right there before Neville, when Bo Dallas dropped the strap to Neville, and him coming in, and everyone anticipating him coming in. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's where the cutoff was in those NXT guys. So if I refer to you watch the show about it, guys from NXT on this main roster, it's from Bo Dallas moving forward.
Do you think that's maybe Vince getting a little jealous of Hunter's booking and it working out well down there? But of course he had Dusty Rhodes and things with him as well.
No, I don't think he's jealous. I don't think he's mad. I just think he's out of touch. That's all. I think he sees these talents. Maybe there's a little bit of stubbornness, but he sees them and he goes, let me figure out I can't really do anything with these guys. Whatever.
I mean, he's out of touch, and
that's it. That's his new music, by the way. I need to make a video of him,
he's out of touch.
No chance. That's what you got. Instead of that, just basically putting Out of Touch by Hall & Notes as he walks out and he does that fucking silly ass walk down to the ring. You're out of touch. I'm out of touch. A song that's been stuck in my head.
Don't think about wrong when I'm not on the job.
Exactly, basically. But I just go, and even on top of what they're doing with, he knows what he can get out of Kalisto.
Oh yeah.
But
he doesn't like smaller guys.
But he's so caught up in trying to make everyone else an odd, part of the odds stacked against Roman Reigns that everything falls by the wayside.
Yeah.
If you wanted to give Kalisto the rub, you should have had him go down in flames honorably, not give him a belt. Even like that belt fucking really means anything in the first place. But it is a rub to a certain degree to someone who's new and fresh as Kalisto. That's it. Hey, throw him a bone.
Well, they've also done a really good job the past few years, like with Rusev, then Cena, then going to Rollins, then going to Cena, and then Del Rio. It's still pretty hot from all those Cena victories.
There's no way for me moving forward to take Kalisto serious. Maybe years from now, but for the next couple of weeks, months, I'm just gonna see him as a loser. He's a fucking loser, and that's when they pulled the trigger that Monday, and then give him less than 24-hour reign. I just go like, yeah, he's a chump. I can't take this guy seriously. What? I supposed to expect him to do something in Royal Rumble?
I mean, I guess at least he's not broken like the trombone was, and like all our hearts were. We had a trombone funeral.
Good transition, you jack. Yeah, look at you, dude. Fuck that segment, though.
I thought it was funny, but yeah, it was funny.
It was dumb.
They named the trombone Francesca.
It already had that name, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it already named it Francesca.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought that was like, an expansion of the trombone character we saw at Time of Death. But then they did something really cool that I like every year. They do it every year. The stats on the Rumble. They said 84 have ever been eliminated. 42 by Kane. 46 Hall of Famers, 8 Hall of Famers won. Stone Cold's the only one who's won 3 Rumbles. Rey's lasted the longest with 62 minutes, and Santino Marella lasted the shortest. And I think these little stats just help the Rumble every year. I think it's a cool little thing to do. I think the Rumble is traditionally my favorite pay-per-view.
Well, something has to be defied. Someone's going to beat the quickest match, because they were supposed to do it with somebody, I think, a year ago, 2 years ago. And they sort of flubbed that, and it took him a while to sort of get out the ring. Because he was supposed to beat was it the Barbarian who had the quickest? They were supposed to do it with Santino.
No, Santino did have it.
Then they were supposed to do it with someone else last year. I cannot remember I think it was a returning person, and he was supposed to.
Titus O'Neil. They said something about Titus O'Neil being lasting 14 seconds.
They flubbed beating the quickest one. They flubbed it. They totally flubbed it. I can't remember who, but if they emphasized on the fact that Rey Mysterio lasted the longest, I feel like that's foreshadowing a little bit. There's gonna be someone's going to overtake Kane's most men thrown out in a career during this. I think they're all going to be beat by Roman Reigns.
That would be. I mean, why not?
So how much? Well, who is behind Kane's in the most thrown out in their career?
Behind Kane, right behind Kane.
Yeah.
I mean, second place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's at 46. He's eliminated 46 of those people.
No, he eliminated. Kane he's eliminated 42 people.
42 people.
Ever.
Yeah. I'm saying yeah.
I don't know who's right behind him. I know he at one time eliminated 12 people, which was the most people in one Rumble. So Kane does well.
Homework assignment to see how many people Roman Reigns, because that one year when he eliminated the most in one night.
It might have been Roman. It might be Roman now. I think Roman did do it the most in one night.
He did, yeah. It was 12 people in one night. Well, and he's been in how many?
Reigns? 2?
Just 2?
Or maybe 3.
How many did he eliminate? Oh, you know what? Never mind. He won't beat that. He won't beat that one. But I'm just saying, when they give those stats, I feel like it's foreshadowing at least 1 or 2 of those will be defeated. If they brought up Rey Mysterio, then yes, the fact that Roman Reigns is going first is the fact that he's going to beat that fucking time. He's going to. He's going to have to. Especially with Rey out of the company, he's gone.
Yeah, sure.
Like AJ Lee, her thing had to have been, destroyed.
But Rey's been gone for a few years now, so maybe they're, I guess it's time because it happened a while ago, and that would be a good story. And plus, you already got Reigns coming in 1. Why not have him be like, well, he lasted the longest Rumble history, and regardless if whatever you do, at least he would have that little stat.
I wonder. I'm going to time it. I'm going to time that motherfucker. Because every 30 minutes, every 3 minutes, isn't always 3 minutes. It's you'll probably do the first 5, but then it's whenever, whatever. It's never 3 minutes and, between. It's okay, it's time to send someone else in.
Hell yeah.
All right, so if they try to pull that shit and like the official time doesn't match mine, I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna do a whole fucking Peter talks about how these some bitches lie.
Well, all right. You should. I mean, they're definitely working you though at all times. It is wrestling.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm about hard facts, man. I'm about hard data.
Okay. Well, Jey Uso versus Big E. I thought this was a great match.
Ooh. Sorry.
Big E's normally, for the last few weeks, he's killed people with this dive on the side of the apron. And Jey, thankfully, was the smarter one, moved out of the way, which was, nice little progression. So Big E smacked himself. I thought that was a great segment. In
terms of in-ring performance, this was the match of the night. It was a really good match. And it goes to show, I think Big E is a very unsung performer for WWE. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to see him in a bad match. I think he delivers really well.
He's great. I like all the New Day. But yeah, Big E doesn't normally get a chance to shine. This was good. Big E's doing a lot of spots out to the floor lately. What do you think about that? Like Kalisto, Kofi, they're all just like taking big bumps to the outside.
He's always, I can recall him always kind of doing that. Mm-hmm. Like especially like that big, what do you call it, collateral damage, and he's a strong dude. Him suplexing and people on the floor. Like I'm talking about
he actually took a bump to the outside.
Yeah, I think
and he won this match
with the distraction from Woods. Woods, what did he do? He got up on the fucking... Did he get up on the apron or something? It was something that he did. It was a distraction big ending. It wasn't even really worth the distraction. Like it was kind of like, hey, and then like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed by you on the apron. Mm-hmm. Like what the fuck, man? Yeah. You're fucking Jey Uso, which I thought was interesting. They went with Jey in this solo match, not
Jimmy. I mean, I think Jay's a way better worker. Hands down, than the little tubby one. Yeah, the little
tubby one is Jey.
No, the one that's they're both kind of tubby for what.
Well, Jimmy is the focal point. Jimmy is the one who he's the standout in the group. Jey is the one that no one really brings up and talks about.
Well, that's weird. Jey is the one that I think is the better one. I thought that was hands down. I didn't know that anyone thought differently.
Yeah, you ask anybody. Send a tweet. JG Pro Wrestling. Let them know that like Jey is not the focal point of that.
Don't talk to me about
people joke about how he botches a lot.
I don't like
Genetti.
No, I don't like any of the. I don't really like the Usos that much.
Not an Uso fan.
No. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you, Jake.
No, man. 2 Matt Hardys. I remember saying that distinctively on this podcast.
Like I listened to you? You think I listened to you?
Well, you should. You said I've been right, and if you go by the predictions, I'm definitely right a lot of the time.
You know what? A clock that doesn't work is at least right twice a day.
Well, your clock must not work at all because I definitely beat you more. I'm more right. You might have one.
So you're like a clock that doesn't work. You were right twice. This podcast.
Nah, I've been
there.
Right.
You go.
I mean,
there you go.
You. I remember back when you said the trombone wouldn't last a week and it was done, and that was like 2 pay-per-views ago.
No, I said when it got destroyed the first time. I thought it went. I admit being wrong. I thought when they broke it the first time, and again, as long as they still.
I did say Charlotte was going to be the first one with the title of the 3.
You weren't right about that.
I said that, and then look what happened.
You weren't right about that.
Go back in the archives, folks.
Well, we all knew she was gonna get it. So I don't really consider.
Not you. We all knew, but not Peter.
Hey, I'm against the grain sometimes. You know what? I take chances, and you better respect that. I am on the. I take chances. What's it? Bold predictions.
We're not worried about
safe.
I'm not arguing about the chances. I'm arguing that you should listen. You might know a little more about wrestling.
Fuck you, you jerk.
I mean, O'Neal and R-Truth and Henry in the back, cutting this like I Have a Dream promo, and then of course Neville joins the team. White guy, wonk wonk.
You kind of slid him in there.
Yeah, what did you...
I was like, ugh, whatever, dude. Don't ask the black guy about the obligatory black person Martin Luther King fucking spot.
I mean, I definitely didn't want to... Okay, cool. I didn't want to speak on it. So they were wrestling the Ascension, Cody Rhodes, and Tyler Breeze. I thought they tried to do a really good spot here, but Mark Henry fucked it up. Titus was supposed to throw him to the back to Mark Henry. I guess to Mark Henry do a Samoan drop for the Red Arrow. Mark Henry dropped Tyler Breeze, and Breeze ended up taking the fall with the Red Arrow anyways.
It's Tyler Breeze's fault. He's a fuck up. That's why he's not getting pushed.
Tyler Breeze?
That's why he's getting unpushed because he sucks. Yeah. He's a waste of ring space. It's his fault.
It's his fault? Okay, well, there you go. I mean, Vince would probably agree. I thought Connor did a really good job in this match. I think Connor wrestled in NXT, and his enthusiasm really caught me there. And then here, he, knocked O'Neal down, and then he, talked shit a little bit to Henry. He's like, you might want to go check on him. And, I don't know, I like the shit-talking Connor. I mean, try to grab the brass ring, dude. Try to push yourself. And he's got a good story. I don't know if you know about Connor. He was homeless for a time. So it's kind of, good to see him with a job and staying motivated.
Speaking of job, I find it interesting that they don't even refer to Gold Dust and the Ascension anymore as the Cosmic Wasteland.
Yeah.
They just, what?
And
see ya.
Ascension had new tights. Would you, the red and...
Huh?
It was the main event of the evening, last match.
What? Dude, I the only person I could really focus on in this match, and I was being very facetious, guys, about it being Tyler Breeze's fault. Word got back a week ago is that Vince basically cut the push that he was given to Tyler Breeze. It should have been a dead giveaway once he lost to Dolph Ziggler. He lost to Dolph Ziggler
and
twice.
He doesn't have Summer, doesn't come out anymore.
Yeah, they did an announcement that they were going to go their separate ways, and then news came out, through the Dave Meltzer that Vince is not sold on Breeze. He's going to get a paycheck, but whatever push he's going to get, no more entrances, no selfie stick spots, nothing. He's just a guy on the apron moving forward.
That's a shame.
I think it's hilarious. Not in the vein that that he's deserving of this. He's not deserving of this. What I said before even the talk to him getting moved up, I said, man, they got to tread lightly with this gimmick because I don't think it will transition over as well as I think Vince or anyone in creative would like. I said it. I was like, I don't see this lasting long. Can I get a bone thrown my way for something I said right? Can I? Yeah, I give you your Charlotte. I give you your trombone. Give me my fucking Tyler Breeze. I was on top of it.
Buried on the roster. Yeah, you had it right. I mean, it's a shame. It sucks, but yeah, it looks like that's gonna happen. Hopefully he gets to be in the Rumble, because I feel like if you're in the Rumble, you're a little bit a part of history.
He's not part of the Rumble.
They need 30.
They're going to have to play his music. You think I'm joking? You think I'm joking by saying that? But no. No music, no selfie stick, no nothing. He's done. He better hope that he makes it to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Let's hope.
That's in his. I'm dead serious.
I hear that's a shame.
And it hopes that on the way out, Mark Henry tosses him out. Let that shit come full circle that he fucks up his move right there, and then once Mark Henry wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, he's gonna fucking step out into the sunset.
You think? Well, there you go. Predictions for the.
He's done. He wants to. He's been wanting to retire for quite some time, but Vince always signs up for another year, and he goes, "Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think they need him around, man.
It seems like he does a lot of morning news promotions, like the day of Raw. He'll go to the morning news shows and things like that.
He's a guy you just want around. I would love to be around Mark Henry.
Legit 1996 world's strongest man, like I think not in the Olympics, but Mr. Olympia or something like that. He definitely competed in the Olympics.
He was sponsored by the WWE, the WWF, and he got third place.
Yeah,
he got third place, and that was supposed to have been Angle. Like that was the first Angle prototype.
Yeah,
they put all this money and invested in this guy to go in.
I remember as a kid his first match. I think his first match was against Jerry Lawler, and it was just like a little like chasing around the ring type of thing. And it's crazy. I just remember him like legit like lifting a car on SmackDown one time, pulling trucks. He
needed that gold, man. Yeah. It would have been. I'll say this, and I'm not saying that Mark Henry had a bad career. I think he had a pretty decent career. And the Hall of Pain was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That was so great. To come so far down, he was given the big gold. He got injured, though. It's like, God, his body just started breaking down on him. But, like, if he would have had that gold medal, if he'd only won that gold medal, ain't no telling how different his fucking career would have been. I would almost put, and coulda, shoulda, woulda, if...
I think the thing was
he would have been the first black WWE world heavyweight champion. I think he would have been. He would have been a champion before The Rock.
Especially 1996. They weren't like they were looking for stars like that. I think that was a good point. It's probably true.
He fucking finished third, and he turned it into a fucking story. The last time he faced Rusev.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lost to my country. Mark Henry is so awesome to be around. Did you see him on Up, Up, Down, Down?
No, not.
Oh man, he's part of the Street Fighter Gauntlet.
Yeah.
He loses it. He essentially loses, but just him in it, and he's playing against Sasha Banks, and he gets his hand slapped by Sasha Banks, and it's just like. He's like this cool. He's the coolest dude in the back. I feel like he's the coolest. He's the vet. He's the old. You know what I'm saying? He's like the old dude who's got advice. He's willing, unlike Jericho, to really put over the young talent. It just I don't know. I can't speak anything less than Mark Henry. You are my official 4th favorite wrestler of all time, Mark Henry. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm saying it. Peter's Mount Rushmore of favorites. DDP. Goldust. Dustin Rhodes. Booker T. And now we have the final head on
Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. Mark motherfucking Henry.
There we go.
All right, I'll shut up.
Wait, who was it? It was Goldust, Booker T, Mark Henry, and
DDP.
Yeah. So Mark Henry being the first WCW guy, or WWE non-WCW original on there. DDP.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Dustin Rhodes, and so there you go. WWE, good job, you made it.
Oh well, Dustin started out with World Class.
That's okay, but then he went to. I don't think so.
Yeah, he started. Dustin Rhodes. He was flaming babyface for World Class.
Are you sure he wasn't in WCW?
Not with WCW. I'm pretty sure it was World Class. I'll do my research.
I don't know where he debuted, but he definitely was in WCW, really green as fuck, in the early 90s.
I had to look it up, but I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking he got to start down in World Class. Booker T.
No, World Class, I don't know.
If it was still open by the time because he's. I feel like he was there. I think
it would definitely have been global if it was out at the time, because it transitioned down. But
or even Crockett, I just feel like he was.
Well, Crockett was WCW.
I know, but like it wasn't.
No, but it was definitely like late '80s at most.
Crockett was Mid-Atlantic, right?
Crockett was Mid-Atlantic, which became WCW.
Yeah.
Because it was bought. Yeah.
By Ted.
Yeah, and then became World Championship Wrestling.
Okay. Booker T he's a WCW homegrown. Booker T, DDP. But we talked about this. I was a WCW kid.
Yeah, same.
Like I was a WWF.
Same, yeah. Oh, I think
you're a Sting guy.
Yeah, my top 4 might not. I mean, maybe Angle. I think mine might be like
Angle should be somebody's favorite.
I think mine might be like Sting,
Punk, Joe,
Angle.
and Sting,
Punk,
and Triple H.
Nah.
We still ain't forgot. I ain't forgot about your I'm a Triple H guy.
Well, the most exciting highlight reel of all time.
Speaking of Sting, and before we go to the highlight reel,
oh yes,
and let me get your shine on because I just did my shine.
Officially announced his retirement. That's a bummer.
What, huh?
Yeah, I've been getting texts throughout the day. I think he's officially done. I think he officially announced it.
You are speculating an official retirement right now.
I didn't get an official word, but people have been texting me.
You're officially speculating.
I guess I'm officially speculating. But I got, like sources that normally don't tell me a lot of news, like ask me what I thought about it. So that means it might be this thing.
WWE, they do this program called 24/7. They point out different things in big, WrestleManias or whatever. They're going to have one on Sting.
Nice.
His debut. You didn't see that promo?
No, I missed
Okay, so they're going to actually follow him. It's other things going on, but the focus is Sting's arrival to WrestleMania.
That's cool.
And it's going to debut right after the Royal Rumble. But it's going to be on the network. You can watch it anytime. But they're going to show it live after the Royal Rumble. And I am going to review this. I'm going to review this because it's like, I remember even at your place watching WrestleMania and him walking down. I'm like, this ain't Starrcade, man. What the fuck is this going on? This ain't Starrcade. What the fuck is he doing walking down the ramp of a WrestleMania? Just ain't right. And now to find out that was his one and done WrestleManias, that's just, it ain't right, man. It ain't right. So give your fucking obituary.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. I think in a weird way, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't ever be put into this thing that's now seen as, the greats, the great of the greats. So I think that it's good that he's, in a weird way, I think it's good. But I'm definitely going to remember him as the guy who was against the NWO, black and white. I did like the Surfers thing, but I think like the idea that he was alone in the rafters, but he was ultimately good, but not affiliated with anybody, was just really cool. And
I was so in love with Surfer Sting. When he went to the Crow, I had to grow into the Crow Sting.
Oh no!
Because I was like, man, okay, this is cool, but like Surfer Sting, man, I was thinking, is there going to be a point in time where he goes back? Like seriously, my entire childhood was me going like, at some point. Maybe, just maybe. Because Surfer like fucking box cut Sting, like fucking colorful face paint, Showtime. It's Showtime. I'm fucking 7, 8 years old. This guy was my hero. Oh
yeah.
Like the black and white. I know the fucking colorful.
No, I know
he was the first Fruity Pebble.
He was my. That was definitely my favorite wrestler. But I was like 3, so whenever he was definitely my favorite. I had like the VHS of the best of Sting and everything. But I guess leading into that storyline where is he going to go NWO? Is he not? And then no one really trusting him. NWO having the fake Sting. And all that. I thought
that's when it all got convoluted. Yeah.
No, that's great. That was the angle that made the Crow Sting, was that no one believed him any. But we have the main event here, main event segment, highlight reel. Brock comes out. Jericho comes out, tries to introduce Brock, gets interrupted by Heyman, and then Brock does come out. Roman comes out, spears Brock. League of Nations come out. Then Brock suplexes Rusev, suplexes Del Rio. F5 Sheamus. Another spear by Roman. And then the Wyatts show up. Harper spin kicks and clotheslines Brock.
Yeah, everyone got a lick on Brock.
Yeah, big boot to Brock by Harper
Rowan
again.
even got a lick in there. Man.
Yeah, Rowan with a big spin kick and a gigantic clothesline by Strowman. Then the sister Abigail. The Wyatts stand tall. I think this is. There's been a lot of speculation, but I think this is a Mania storyline.
What this bullshit is that even though Brock is still the biggest, baddest man on the planet, he takes out fucking the League, Just like they all get a fucking suplex and an F5 for their worries. Roman Reigns, they stand toe to toe. Oh yeah, I'm bigger and badder than you. He gets him with a spear and he fucking just unloads on him. It takes the fucking League of Nations to basically jump on Roman Reigns to get him off of Brock, for Brock to destroy them, only to get taken down again by Roman Reigns. Fuck that, man. That's bullshit.
You think this is all bullshit?
Hey, I mean, you want to, what do you call it? What do you call it? Disbelief. I always fuck up when it's
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, you want to suspend my fucking disbelief, seriously, from the baddest man on the planet at one point, the heavyweight UFC champion of the world, a guy who's been suplexing everyone left and right and fucking destroying people in his path, and this guy who's completely unproven. He's part of a faction. He was part of this thing called a Shield, and then that's it. He has nothing to show that he's a bigger, badder man than fucking Brock Lesnar. I get it. He has to be, and I said it on Peter's Raw Recap, I get it. There has to be even playing field, even for the fact that the Wyatt guys came in. He's part of the roster. He's big and bad, but he is on the roster. And to suspend my belief that the playing field is pretty even amongst the biggest and the baddest dudes in the Royal Rumble. Bray Wyatt's presence is basically going to be a reinvention of him when he first debuted into the Royal Rumble. This time he has Braun Strowman. How much more of a factor will Braun Strowman make in the dominance of the Wyatt family in the Royal Rumble? They're 4 deep. This guy's a fucking monster. Now, what's the story arc going to be between Braun Strowman? Because I think you look at Harper, is Brock Lesnar going to get his revenge out on those jabronis in the Rumble match? Will he be dumped out after he gets rid of all those guys by Bray Wyatt?
I mean, it might not even be that. It might be a Strowman elimination, or all of them eliminate Brock. You have to have if you ultimately want to push Reigns, you have to have a way to get Brock out and save him. And I think the Wyatts might be that answer. They're definitely the big enough guys, and that could set up Brock coming back between Rumble and Mania, wanting to get his revenge. And then you would see gigantic dudes getting suplexed by Brock Lesnar.
Do you see a... Okay, I guess we're jumping the gun. That's too much fantasy right now, what I had in my head.
A Wyatt-Lesnar match at Mania?
Do you see a 3-on-1? Not Mania, Fastlane. Because they got to build Fastlane after the Rumble. Fastlane is going to be a big deal this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It has to be. It has to be a big
Why?
deal. Because of the injuries and the lack thereof, the storylines. You still want people to watch the product. If there weren't as many injuries, I don't think Fastlane would be as big of a deal. But because of the lack thereof, there's no Cena, there's no Orton, there's no... I was about to say Cesaro. But there's no Cena, there's no Orton, there's no Rollins. Those parts. It's a depleted roster. You still have to put out a good show. So they got to stack the card even more for Fastlane going into WrestleMania, which they're going to try to triple that deck. But I see Brock Lesnar. He is on contract to wrestle in Fastlane, and if anything, I just feel like what happened at the Go Home show with the Wyatts and him to sort of take the attention off Roman Reigns, because I feel like Roman Reigns is going to more focused on Triple H.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen, and you need a reason to get rid of Brock.
Yeah.
And I think that the Wyatts are that answer in the Rumble, and I think having interactions with the Wyatts, if not a match ever, like even on Fastlane or Mania, definitely I think it works, because these dark characters work well with Brock, like we see with Taker and everything, and also these big guys work well with Brock, because Brock gets the suplex, and it looks so impressive. So I think having this kind of story arc where the Wyatts and Brock don't like each other is going to be entertaining and fun to watch. So I'm excited about it, and I like the Wyatt family. I mean, I like Harper.
I'm just trying to predict how they're going to... Will Brock destroy them? Are they there to be destroyed? Because they just destroyed Team Extreme, ultimately. Right? They just decimated Team Extreme. Why would you take out those guys only to go somewhere, you want some merit going in up against somebody with the force of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has to earn his money.
They made him kind of look like fools against Undertaker and Kane. You got their heat back by letting him beat guys that people are nostalgia with, just like they're nostalgia of Undertaker by beating the ECW guys.
They beat him this fucking episode.
I know, and then they took down Brock, so they're building him up for Mania, and I think they're doing it. I mean, not perfectly, but I think a lot of people aren't really conscious of the Undertaker and Kane beatdown that they took, and I can definitely see. I mean, yeah, maybe Fastlane, maybe Mania, maybe something.
Is there talks about Bray versus Brock?
I mean, after Raw going into Rumble, I mean,
I'm talking about even before that. Like, cause I think I mentioned something because Undertaker versus Owens is in the talk.
Yeah,
and Brock. I thought Brock and Rock, but they're saying Brock and Bray. For WrestleMania.
Yeah, I just said that. I think that would be great. I think, I think that's perfect because of all the things I said. Brock will suplex gigantic dudes. It's a way to get Brock out of the Rumble. And Harper's good. Bray's good. Strowman looks impressive. Brock's good. I mean, Roman, you can definitely, with a lot of bells and whistles, make Broman and Strowman look good. You know what I mean.
Broman and Strowman.
Strowman and Rowan look good. I like this dynamic.
That's their new name for me now. It's Harper, Broman, and Strowman. Yeah. I'm going with it.
I think I like this feud dynamic, man. I think it's good. Like the Beast versus like the guy trying to, the new face of fear, the guy trying to take down the Beast, just like you try to take down Taker. And things like that. I like it. I think if you can't get a Sting, if you can't get Sting to face Bray, and you can't get Taker or Rock to face Brock, I think that might be the best you have.
There's still a chance that it still may be Brock and Rock.
Well, then
there's a chance. I mean, again, there's Fastlane.
Exactly.
I think they're still trying to negotiate his capacity because so far we know that Rock will be there, but we don't know in what capacity. We know Stone Cold's going to be there. He keeps putting out that he's
going to be there.
He's in talks about being there.
I can totally see Shawn Michaels being there.
But do we know that we know that Shawn Michaels will be there?
Oh, I don't know.
I think we know that he will be there, but we don't know at what capacity. We know he's not wrestling.
He's not wrestling. No. So I mean, if you're not wrestling, you're just
Stone Cold. He's not wrestling.
Yeah, sure. But having those names,
I still think he's a work, man. That's still like a work to me, man.
Well, that Stone Cold's not wrestling.
Yeah, that fuck. He keeps talking about on his podcast how he works out, and I imagine he just likes working out because he's a working out dude. But it's almost like he makes emphasis over the past year that he's been working out, and the fact that he's on that fucking cover of 2K, and just all of these things. I mean, I'd be hard stressed, and if it's not like I'm building my hopes, it's not like I'm having my heart broken if he doesn't do something in some sort of wrestling capacity at WrestleMania. But I'm going to sit here and say that, like, if you're selling right now, brother, I'm not buying. That's all. If it happens, oh yeah, he didn't, no big deal. No sweat off, no fucking sweat off my nuts. But I'm just saying, this is episode, 74? Mm-hmm. Remember this.
What do you want to run down Rumble predictions real quick?